So I want you to turn around and say, one of your goals post this conference today is, what do you have to do each day to be a purple cow in your marketplace? Because if you don't, you will become invisible. And take risks, because what used to be safe is now risky because you become lost in the crowd. And in fact, risky is the new safe in 2012. When I first got into real estate, something happened. I was pumped, I was motivated, I went out and door knocked for a whole week. Hi, it's Tom here. I'm new, I'm just introducing myself. If you're ever thinking of selling, please contact me. I didn't have a very high strike rate. Like, I think one person had a conversation with me. Most of the people did not answer doors. And I worked out something, that knocking on doors, interrupting strangers was not the most effective thing for me to do. And I still believe that today. You see, just like you deal with vendors and buyers, I deal with real estate agents. I mentor, train, consult, work with some of the best agents in the country, and none of the people that I work with that are writing $1 million a year in commission, door knock. They run an attraction business model wherever I go. They run an attraction business model. Basically, what they do is like a magnet. They are drawing the better vendors in the marketplace each month. That's the model that they operate. You know that as well as I do right here, right now. You know that people that are writing 500, 600, 700,000 in GCI do not go off and do cold door knocking. Sure, they might do some smart calling where they'll do 6, 6, 12, knock around signboards. But they don't go out as a strategy doing cold door knocks. They use an attraction business model. And the attraction business model is this 7-figure agent. It's a template that I have measured people, and this is what it looks like. People join a real estate office. They start at roughly 50 grand a year in the first year, thereabouts. Second year, they aim for 100. But you know what? Most people in real estate in Australia never go past the bottom 2. The average income of a real estate agent the last financial year was $59,000 a year in Australia, IBIS number. $59,000. Imagine that, $59,000 to have people call you late at nights asking you strange questions. $59,000 a year to have people walking in like they're doing you a favour and open for inspection. $59,000 from going from the heights of exhilaration to the depths of depression in 24 hours. Well, I've got to tell you that today's a special day, because I know in this room, based on the stats, there's going to be a small group of people that are going to say, enough of the bullshit, enough's enough. Today's the day where I drop the past, I stop those lies that I've repeated in my head over and over again that have become my reality, and I begin to look at real estate with a new set of eyes. And I start moving from being a transactional agent to a marketing-based agent, and what I'm going to do is become the purple cow in my marketplace, and I'm going to work harder, I'm going to stay later, and I'm going to go off and do important stuff at work and watch your life change, because you develop momentum in 30 to 60 days. This is the model I want you to be working at. Now, I know a lot of you turn around and like doing a lot of emails, lots of databasing. Don't get me wrong, they're good, but I've been spammed for Viagra 7,400 times, haven't bought yet. Who knows, one day I could be in the market, but at the moment, have not bought, and the emails keep coming and coming and coming. So one of the key things I want to talk to you about is this. Who do you send an email to? The receptivity of the person getting the email is critical. That is a critical issue. In the ideal world, the people that get emails from you should already have a relationship with you. The last 10 years, I've been away 1,000 nights. I'm about 100 nights a year. I've got a travelling job. We've got about 125 newspapers I look after. I've got staff all over the place. So a lot of my time is spent in taxis and airports. And you can't help it. You get into conversations with people on planes. You're meeting a lot of different people all the time. And this is the question I get asked all the time, like you. How's the market? How's the market? Hands up if you get asked that question. Well, you know what? The market's the market. It's a thing. Like a tree. It's there. It changes. The market's the market. And I'm going to ask you to eliminate, as of today, your addiction and obsession in worrying about the market. Because you worrying about the market is as effective as you chewing gum to save world poverty. There's no correlation. You've got no, just because you worry about the market, Julia Gillard doesn't change the interest rates. You see, you don't control the market. The market is a thing. What you control is your response to the market, not the market itself. So I'm going to ask you to start distinguishing between the real estate market and the real estate agents market. Because the real estate agents market is far more important than the real estate market. And the reason why is there are two markets operating at the one time, and the only market that you can affect is the internal marketplace, which is the inner market. And the inner market is the story that you carry with you every minute of the day. Those thousands and thousands of thoughts that go through your head. That's your market. One of the most exciting things about being a human being is that whilst you can't control the market, you control the contents of your thoughts and the direction that your life takes. And that's damn exciting. That's damn exciting to think that if you're a human being, you can make a decision to change the direction of your life, irrespective of the market. If you start changing, just changing what you believe in, your goals, have a better plan, higher focus, more energy. And don't get me wrong, you know, when people turn around and say, these things sound very grey, you know, energy, like, oh, I've got to tell you, energy is like the wind. You cannot see it, but you know that there is an energy field between you and a vendor. When you've got a connection, you know that there is a connection there. Hands up if you can relate to what I'm talking about. And what I'm saying is that it's a bit like, and don't get me wrong, I'm a commercial person. I mean, my life has been budgets and actuals. Right from when I finished uni, it's always been about filling that gap. Budgets versus actuals. But at the same point, I also know 100% that we are human beings that get influenced by other people. That every day it's about creating 5 new relationships a day. And that energy is the enabler of those relationships. Because energy is like the wind. The way that you feel about something goes to another person. Right now, my delivery to you is about energy. That's what you'll take out of this presentation. And I've got to tell you, it is energy. It is energy that will affect your vendors at your next listing presentation. How you come across, the feeling. Let's face it, you know what? Vendors call you up for a listing presentation. We go over there, we take a market appraisal, we take comparable sales, we take photos, case studies, we take testimonial letters, we take our iPads. But I'll tell you one thing, you'll get a lot further taking a good dose of humanity with you. A good dose of humanity. Because deep down they've called for an agent, but you know what they want? They want a decent human being. That's what they're looking for, because they're entering into their private zone. So I can't stress the importance that being nice is so underrated. Just being a nice person, it is so underrated. A sense of urgency. Are you the person that's walking in the office with dark clouds, or are you the person out there with energy? Your prospecting plan, your listing skills. See, all those things there, they're all inner market stuff. They're all things you can control. You can't control the competitors, the interest rates, or the economy. Without doubt, this is my favourite slide. 3 years undergrad, 3 years postgrad, master's degree in management. The one thing I learned after all that time, all those lectures, was CBT. CBT, cognitive behavioural therapy, is basically the science behind all positive psychology. Any seminar you go to, any motivation book you read, from Anthony Robbins to Deepak Chopra to Brian Tracy, anything that you hear that is about motivation is all underpinned by cognitive behavioural therapy. That's the science behind it. Anthony Robbins does the buzzwords, but the science behind it is CBT. I want you to understand this basic scientific equation. Here it is. Can you please look at the word success equals events plus beliefs? Now let's have a look at how it relates to, I'll give you a couple of examples. Let's talk about real estate. So real estate is an event. The market is an event. The market's the market. It's an event. Beliefs is how you feel about the market. Is your vendor management skills good for the market? Is your negotiation skills good for the market? Your beliefs is the story you carry with you. Do you carry with you a story that you believe that you are worth this much in the marketplace? That you are worth that up here. Someone said to me the other day, he said, Tom, sometimes when I listen to you talk, I think that you love yourself. It was interesting. I actually reflected on it. I said, do I come across that way? He said, just my gut feeling. He said, don't take it personally. This was my response. I don't think I love myself, but I do have a high value of myself, because if I don't have a high value of myself, no one's going to elevate it. Generally speaking, people will try and knock it down. So I've chosen to start off here. And it's no difference in your life, in your business. You need to have a deep conviction and belief that you're worth a fee. Because if you are, you act and behave from that position. And let me tell you, the magic in your life happens the minute you start acting and behaving from a position that you've got everything that you want in your life right now. That's when magic begins. Because the other way is that you're always striving. There's always a gap, but you're just never arriving. You're always short. But the minute you turn around and say, I've got everything the way I've been born, I am perfect, and you start acting that way, guess what happens? The vibrations of energy that you give to other people is that, and people respond to you back in that way. If you are responding to people with a frame of mind and vibrations of energy of low self-esteem, no confidence, not worth that money, I'm scared, I'm hopeless, I'm not good at this job, you know what? That is what you're sending out. That's what you get back. That's what this movie, The Secret, more or less is. Be the change you want to happen. Start acting and behaving from that position, and your life changes. CBT, events plus beliefs. I'll give you another example of events plus beliefs. Tomorrow night, hands up if you're single and you're a guy. Hands up. Okay. Okay, so the rest of us got to suffer, right? All right. Okay, so this guy over here. So there's two of you, put your hand up. Over there, two of you. Here's the story. The event, they go out to a bar. That's the event. They're at the bar. One of them goes up and approaches a girl. She turns around and says, "Ooh," and walks away. He goes to the bathroom, looks in the mirror and says, "Shit, stuffed my night up. I'm ugly, I'm dumb, I shouldn't have done it, terrible." Let's fast forward. The other guy goes over. She goes, "Do I do that well?" He walks away, and you know what he says? "Shit, her fiance's probably here." The story you carry with you and the way that you interpret an event highly dictates how you're going to feel about life. Someone that goes prospecting, you know what? One goes prospecting. They go off and see a few people. They do 6-6-12. They knock around their signboards. They get a bad response. They walk back into the office. "I'm never doing it again. It's a waste of time." Another person goes there. They get the same response. They say, "You know what? I'm out there. I'm building contacts. One day these contacts will become listings. I'm not supposed to get a listing. Prospecting doesn't get you listings." By the way, prospecting does not get you listings. It gets you contacts that one day will become a listing. Please understand that. You're not supposed to get listings when you prospect. That's like winning the lotto. You prospect to get contacts that one day will become a listing. Okay, beliefs, beliefs, beliefs. That's what I want you to focus on. Because of one thing I've learned after working with real estate agents for the last 25 years, you can have all the scripts and dialogues, you can have the perfect listing presentation, you can have the world's best database system, but if the story that you carry with you every minute of the day is that it's not positive, empowering, but it is automatic negative thoughts, life is always tough. It's a struggle. It's $59,000. I bought an iPhone recently and I'm really excited because they said, "Tom, how could you have gone for so long with that stupid BlackBerry?" I can't even get over it. I had a lady, she would have looked like she was 60 or 70 about 6 months ago on a flight going Melbourne back to Sydney. She saw me pull out the BlackBerry as the plane lands. I'm always the first person. When the plane lands, they say, "You can take out your phone." I've already got it in my hands, right? So I've got it there. And she said, "Have you still got that brick?" I said, "Sorry, ma'am." She goes, "Get an iPhone, get with it." Anyway, I got myself an iPhone and everyone said, "Get all the apps." Incredible apps, productivity apps. There's apps that can monitor your sleep. There's apps that can do incredible things. I've got to tell you, I live by 2 devices in my life, full stop. I don't need any other devices. A group certificate. It doesn't lie. It says the truth. It's an X-ray of your year. A group certificate is an X-ray of your year. And you know what? Your year is made up of days. And your days are your life in miniature. There is no such thing as an unimportant day. The set of scales don't lie either. You see, the set of scales can see everything. They can see that Mars bar. The set of scales can see you when you stop running and start walking and no one's watching, but it is. You see, at the end of the day, these 2 KPIs are really 2 devices. Your health and fitness give you energy, keep you alive, help you be an attraction agent because you feel confident, you feel healthy. And your group certificate, man, let's face it, your group certificate, man, you know when real estate agents say, "Oh yeah, Tom, I've got 3 or 4 in the pipeline." Pipeline? What are you, a plumber? Where were you? That doesn't lie. Hands up if you've been in real estate for less than 2 years. Can I get a show of hands? Okay. Your seminar can end right now. Here is your formula. Get in early, work harder, stay later. That's it. You see, in the early stages, you don't have to be good. You just got to be there. As time goes by, you can be less there because you're more good. But a lot of people want to be not good and not there. Hard work pays off in the future. Laziness pays off now. Hard work pays off in the future. Laziness pays off this instant. And I want you to understand that. You know, a lot of people say discipline. I'm not very disciplined. I'm not very disciplined. But I make up for it because I'm passionate. Because let me tell you, when you've got passion, you don't need as much discipline. Because you need discipline when you hate things, right? But when you're passionate and you love something, man, you don't need discipline to keep you focused because you're in the zone, you're flowing. It's where you're supposed to be on this planet. You're doing your thing. And I've got to tell you, it is a wonderful way to live, to be living in flow. Because doing things that you don't like but being disciplined is like shit, right? It's just so tiring and draining all the time. So I've got to urge you to understand that if you're not successful at the moment, yes, you're going to have to work hard to get contacts, to get you into momentum. But life's not going to be like that forever. Because there comes a time when you start working as an attraction agent. These attraction agents that are writing the big money, they're probably in this room here. They know that what I'm saying is in their voice. They're thinking, this guy knows. I don't go off and do cold door knocking. I don't go off and do cold prospecting. The fact is I get called out to all the right listings. I get referrals. That's what you've got to aim to. That's the model. And no one really wants to talk about it because it is, I don't know, everyone thinks just go off and do lots of cold work. But the truth is, let's face it, strangers hate being interrupted. Critical behaviours. I want everyone to write down what they think in 2012 are the 3 most critical behaviours of successful real estate agents. A critical behaviour. What is critical that an agent must be doing? Please write it down. Okay. By the way, the first 10 people, my Twitter is Tom Panos, all in lowercase, no space, T-O-M-P-A-N-O-S. First 10 people that Twitter and say something positive will get a copy of critical behaviours. I did a program, we monitored agents, 20 best agents in the country that were writing over $1 million, and we've got 9 hours of audio. The first 10 on Twitter will get a copy. I'll look at it, I'll see who's gone first, and then I'll speak to my assistant and she'll get it out to you. What's that? 4. Okay. Over here, what'd you have? Name one. Let's talk about the first one. Tell me, what's your situation? Now, what we're looking for is this. You don't have to tweet these. What you've got to do is I'm going to ask people here, what is a critical behaviour? Over here. Make every interaction, every person in the community positive. Massively positive. Do you realise that everything you do is either building brand equity in you or destroying brand equity in you? That's what's happening. Right this minute, the client is looking at you. They're looking at your signboard. They're looking at your website. They're looking at your car. As you walk into the house to the listing presentation, they're peeping through the windows to see who you are. Every minute of the day, they are spying on you, your website. They're looking at your branding, Twitter, Facebook. People want to know you before they know you. And social media is a platform that gets them that opportunity. And by the way, I simply don't believe people that say, oh, but who cares about people, what they're having for breakfast and what they're having for dinner? This is a strange thing. People are obsessed with voyeurism. They do care. It's quite bizarre. They've researched. People are very curious creatures on what other people do in their lives, but they never admit it. Critical behaviour, well said, over there. Someone over here. Passion, beautiful, over here. Build relationships. Here's a goal that Jason Boone, that writes $2 million a year from Richardson and Wrench, said he has one goal: 5 relationship appointments a day. That's what he works off. 5 relationship appointments. It's a relationship game. Let me share with you some of the critical behaviours that came out of the research that we did with these agents. We had top agents in there. James Tostervern, we had the #1 McGrath agent, McManus, we had all the agents. Crucial conversations are critical behaviour. A crucial conversation at a critical time of the campaign is a critical behaviour. Critical. Next, 10 before 10. Speak to 10 people before 10 a.m. every day. If you did that alone, that's 50 people a week. That's 200 people a month. That's 2,000 people a year. You would be BIW, best in the world in real estate, by simply adopting one ritual, 10 before 10. Next, critical behaviour. Vendor paid advertising. It is a critical behaviour. You see, if vendors don't have skin in the game, they're not commercially committed to the sale. If they're not prepared to invest money in a transaction, what they're saying is, we're giving you our backup plan. We've got other things that we could do. You take your time, you take your money, you take the risk. We don't want to risk anything. You can work out if a vendor is motivated within 10 seconds. If they're not prepared to invest commercially in the sale, you need both commercial and emotional commitment. If there is no skin in the game of a vendor, what they're also saying is, unless the price is incredible, we probably won't be moving. By the way, vendor paid advertising is also a brand builder. Yes, it is a vendor enabler, but it is also a brand builder, and it will help you be a purple cow. Because what happens is this: if you're in the paper and they're seeing your ads all the time, you start attracting those kind of vendors to you. So if you've got vendors with VPA, guess what happens? The law of attraction says you start attracting those kind of vendors to you, because they're the people that want to look like your ads. I've got to tell you, something unimportant done well does not make it important. You know when sometimes people say, just work hard? But what if you're working hard doing the wrong things? What if you're working really, really hard doing something that doesn't need to get done? What if REIWA put an award up at their awards night, and it was for the #1 agent in the state for taking unqualified buyers out? You are just the best in the state. You beat everyone else. My point is this: what you do is far more important than how you do it. The task selection is critical. Willpower is damn overrated. I've got to tell you, willpower is so overrated. if willpower was the answer and discipline, don't you think everyone would have a six-pack and be living in a $7 million house? But that's not the case. The reality is that people struggle with money, they struggle with relationships, they struggle with work, they struggle with listings. And the truth is that you've come to an event today, and I don't want to be a downer being the last speaker, but I'm going to tell you something that you probably don't want to hear, but something that you need to know. And that's this.